Welcome to the last session of our general chapter. First of all, I would like to thank very much Brother Adore and the choir that came up from Marpak today for the wonderful Mass that we celebrated this morning. Thank you, Adore, for the beautiful prayers, and thank you, brothers from Marpak, for the wonderful music this morning. It was really a great pleasure to celebrate Eucharist with you as we conclude our general chapter. So I would like to start by calling on Brother Ernesto to speak on behalf of the previous General Council. Thank you very much, Ernesto.
Queridos hermanos y laicos maristas, todos maristas de Champañá, fue importante la apertura y disponibilidad de cada uno de nosotros como participantes del capítulo, buscando juntos las llamadas del Espíritu para los próximos 8 años de nuestro instituto. Personalmente, tras vivir 4 capítulos generales, me alegra el caminar. Se buscó en el 2001 optar por la vida. En el 2009, generar corazones nuevos para un mundo nuevo. En el 2017, vivir un nuevo Labadá. Y en este año 2025, Hogar para Todos, Río de Vida, queremos construir un nuevo Hermitage. Será muy importante nuestro testimonio alegre y coherente de las llamadas y propuestas que han surgido en este capítulo general. No tengamos miedo de cortar las rocas que sean necesarias para construir juntos el nuevo Hermitage. Yo agradezco al Instituto su confianza al tenerme en la Administración General durante 22 años, que ha sido para mí un gran aprendizaje. En el año 2002, el Superior General Sean Salmon me invitó a participar en Roma durante 6 años para ofrecer el servicio de pastoral vocacional y formación. Al final del 2008 inicié como provincial en México Occidental y en el capítulo general de 2009 fui elegido consejero general. Y estuve 8 años en este servicio con el hermano Emili Turó. Y en Colombia se me pidió el servicio de superior general hace 8 años. He terminado contento, en paz y con buena salud. Con relación al Consejo General, hablé mucho del trabajo, ahora hablo de la comunidad. Como comunidad, hicimos un caminar importante, con momentos muy agradables y a veces con algunas situaciones muy difíciles, las cuales buscamos enfrentar y solucionar. Realizamos cada año 3 sesiones plenarias, una en febrero, otra en junio y otra en septiembre. A lo largo de 8 años tuvimos en total 22 sesiones plenarias y 106 consejos regulares. En las plenarias de junio, la última semana, realizábamos 5 días de paseo comunitario. Íbamos todo el consejo, junto con el ecónomo general y el secretario general, que hacían parte de nuestra comunidad. En las plenarias de septiembre, dábamos 5 días para ir a algún lugar y tener un retiro juntos. Durante la pandemia, estuvimos todo el consejo en la Casa General, casi 2 años sin poder realizar viajes para visitar las provincias y distritos. En estos 8 años, el Consejo General ayudó para la realización de arreglos y mejoras de muchas partes de la Casa General, para que fuera un espacio que ayudara más a la vida fraterna y a los visitantes. Antes de venir a Filipinas, hace un mes, dejamos libres todas nuestras habitaciones para que en este mes se pintaran y así recibir al nuevo gobierno general con sus habitaciones muy bonitas. También digo que en estos 8 años fallecieron algunos familiares de varios de nosotros y nos dimos gran apoyo. Silven murió su papá y su mamá. Su servidor perdió 3 hermanos y 2 cuñadas. El hermano Joao Carlos Soprado perdió un hermano y un sobrino. Otros tuvieron hermanos, sobrinos o personas muy enfermas y nos dimos mucho apoyo. Durante nuestro periodo, la mayoría de nosotros tuvo algún momento de enfermedad también y estuvimos en el hospital para tener alguna operación. Todos, excepto Oscar, ese no tuvo ninguna operación. Todos los demás en el hospital alguna vez. Y personalmente, como superior de la comunidad, yo era superior general del instituto y superior de mi comunidad también, busqué siempre estar en algún momento en cada uno de los hospitales y con ellos. Y les sugería dejar reuniones y viajes para cuidar bien su salud. Y ese apoyo se daba entre todos nosotros como comunidad del Consejo y también con el apoyo de la comunidad de la Casa General, principalmente de los superiores de esa comunidad. Hemos terminado nuestro servicio aquí en Filipinas durante este capítulo general. Me ha alegrado mucho escuchar en el Evangelio del domingo pasado las siguientes frases. Los apóstoles dijeron al Señor: aumentanos la fe. Y al final escuchamos en el Evangelio ese día: así también ustedes, cuando hayan hecho todo lo que se les mande, digan: somos simples servidores, no hemos hecho más que cumplir con nuestro deber. Me encantó esa palabra hace 3 días. Deseo en este momento invitar al Consejo General a venir aquí para darles un pequeño regalo que les he traído de Italia. Es una imagen de María para que nos siga acompañando tanto en los momentos hermosos como en los momentos difíciles, así como María estuvo frente a la cruz de su Hijo Jesús. Y vivamos nuestros siguientes años con alegría y cuidado personal y comunitario, dando lo mejor en el siguiente servicio que se nos pida a cada uno de nosotros. Por favor, los antiguos miembros del Consejo General, vengan aquí un momento para recibir ese regalo. Recuerden que a todos ya les dimos el regalo antes de champañá, ¿verdad? Entonces digo, para que no se olviden que ahora no les vamos a dar a todos, ya lo recibieron. Pero quiero decir también que quiero agradecer mucho al hermano Chuchi por su gran apoyo como secretario personal de su servidor durante 7 años y un poco más. Así que ven, Chuchi, por un pequeño detalle también. Y desde luego, junto con él, al hermano Luis Daniel Herrera, que ya está en Roma, ya le daré su regalo, y también, que fue el secretario general, mexicano también, como yo, y así como al hermano Jorge Gallo, quien fue parte de esta comunidad, y hoy ya se fue a trabajar al sur. Así que su regalo se lo daré después. Pero fueron de la comunidad, ellos dos, Daniel y Jorge. Bueno, pues ahora pido que se presente aquí adelante, ya más hacia aquel lado, pues el nuevo superior general nuevo vicario y el nuevo consejo. Que vengan por favor para acá. ¿Sí? During your service, I suggest that you take care of yourselves personally and as a community. Be very attentive to listening without suffering when you receive so many messages about difficult or negative situations. In the midst of everything, there are always more positive things in the Institute, even if that news comes less often. We entrust you to Jesus and Mary, our good mother. I give you a small gift now. The council will help me to do that. And this is Our Lady of Guadalupe. Like this, you will remember that I am in Mexico. I'm from Mexico. I will pray for you with Guadalupe, and appears to many other places, as you know. Stay hard on your journey, and may you live this beautiful service of leadership with faith, joy, and hope. Thank you very much.
Dear brothers and friends, our time together is drawing to a close. And at this point, it's important that we express our gratitude. And I believe it's not just my gratitude, it's our gratitude to the people who have planned, helped, and led this 23rd General Chapter. Firstly, to our lay colleagues here who have travelled with us. Priscilla, Giuliano, Jaco from the IT team, Luis, Sarah from the Communications Office, Bruno, our translator, and Jilin from the East Asia Province Office. They have all been away from their countries, homes, loved ones and families for 5 weeks. This is more than ordinary commitment. It is something quite special. We are grateful to you, not only for your professional competency, hard work and dedication, but also for the wonderful spirit you have brought to our chapter. You have enriched our time together, and we have enjoyed your company. Thank you. I would ask Brother Hippolito and members of the General Council to come forward and to also to invite forward our lay colleagues so they can receive a gift from them. One of each. One of this one and one of that. Okay. One and one. You take one. We're just starting to work together. Thank you so much. We also acknowledge those who have travelled with us for a time. Our Maris lay women and men, our facilitators, Manu, and our younger brothers. They have contributed greatly by their presence, participation, and hopeful presentations and messages. Manu is still with us, and we thank him for all he has accomplished as Director of the Secretariat. Sincere thanks to Manu. To our dedicated translation team, led by Brother Al Rivera, how could this chapter have functioned without their intense listening and deft translation? Imagine the number of spoken and translated words over the past 30 days. Our sincere gratitude to Al, Estacio, Gerardo, Aristide and Bruno. They have been a welcome presence in everything that we have done and experienced these days. Please come forward. One of each.
Sí, va, one each. Sí, uno y uno. Sí, uno y uno.
We need to also express our deep gratitude to the province of East Asia, who have hosted us so wonderfully during the chapter. Brother Alan de Castro, the provincial, has overseen the arrangements. Brother Adore, like a guardian angel, has been readily available every day to ensure our needs have been met. This extends through to 10 o'clock at night, when he was the last to close the bar. Brothers Jeff and Albert have been ready to drive, navigate, and assist us in any way we have needed. Angeline, as I said, has been readily available to assist in anything and everything. We thank her for her friendliness and her efficiency and everything she has done. And I invite those brothers to come forward, please, and to receive a token of our appreciation. And what about our liturgy team? Brothers Michael, Danilo, Michelle, Omar and Father Gavin have provided a most significant service to us in a respectful, creative and fraternal way. They have assisted us to reflect on the experiences of each day, helped mark and celebrate special occasions, and facilitated a prayerful atmosphere for our liturgies, prayers and masses. Our sincere gratitude to them. Please come forward. I'm not sure what you would regard as purgatory, but sitting in a chair and taking minutes for a general chapter must come close. So thank you to you, Brother Chuchi, for your presence, secretarial work and daily support. Please. Now to our Facilitation Commission. When these brothers accepted their role at the very start of the chapter, I'm sure they were conscious of the additional work they were taking on. And that in itself is most extraordinary, commendable. Thank you. Over the last 5 weeks, they have done an extraordinary job in managing, guiding and leading the process of the chapter. They have met for long hours, given clear directions, but also been flexible and adaptable as required. I am particularly grateful to Brother Ken. 2 years ago, he was given responsibility for planning this chapter. Since then, he has worked conscientiously and creatively with Preliminary Commission and Provisional Commission and now the Facilitation Commission. I thank him most sincerely. So we thank the Facilitation Commission, Brothers Darren and Davis, Fabian and Jaime, who has been our very efficient secretary, Joao, who has been our most able deputy chair, Mark and Raj. Please accept our deep appreciation for the great contribution you have made to the success of this 23rd General Chapter. And finally, to all of you, this has been an intense 5-week period. You have all listened attentively and prayerfully. You have collaborated and cooperated openly. You have shown such goodwill and lived a genuine, warm fraternity. It has been a pleasure for me to meet you and to meet some of you for the very first time and to meet others again. and I'm looking forward to continuing to see you over the years ahead. So to all of the delegates, thank you sincerely. Champagne was a builder, and his hermitage still stands today. It is old, but it has been renewed, and is as strong and welcoming today as it was in his time. Champagne's building skills weren't just expressed in stone and timber. He was a builder on multiple levels and in various dimensions. He founded 2 religious congregations. He constructed community. He shaped mission. He gave confidence. But more importantly, he always instilled hope. During this chapter, with its theme, Home for All, River of Life, we have heard the Holy Spirit call us to build a new hermitage. This is not to be a structure fixed in one place, but a living reality that moves like the river itself, wherever Marists live in faith, create fraternity, and bring life to others. This chapter has called us, all of us, to be builders like Marcelin. The calls are distinct but interconnected. First, to be builders of a culture of vocation, to live passionately with integrity, becoming living witnesses of the gospel, inspiring and accompanying others to discover and embrace their own Marist vocation. To be builders of a living spirituality, one that is Christ-centred, Marian and inspired by Champagne. One that enables us to find God in the people, events and movements of each day and encourages us to respond in love. To be builders of communion, a Champagne family that is not limited by location, language, culture or class, but is a true life-giving home for all, warm, nurturing and inclusive. To be builders of servant leadership, where we confront realities, even difficult ones, honestly and hopefully, and then, in a synodal way, act transparently and encourage genuine dialogue, active participation and shared responsibility. And finally, to be builders of the good news. This living mission calls us to be welcoming hearts, caring hands, and creative minds for children and young people, especially the poor and marginalised. We are called to act boldly and offer hope. These are our calls. Can we fulfil them? In one sense, we already have. Because over the last month, at this chapter, we have lived what we desire. We have together built the style of community and life we hope for Champagne Marists. We have experienced a fraternity that is warm and outward looking, a spirituality that is grounded and Marian, and a style of operation that has been synodal. In turn, this has affirmed our mission and vocation. I'm sure we will return to our homes and communities committed to building this new hermitage wherever we are. There is always work to do before you build. Plans have to be made. Land needs to be cleared and levelled. In this context, I want to acknowledge Brother Ernesto's administration. Over the past 8 years, they have undertaken a huge volume of work and achieved an enormous amount. They have closely accompanied all the provinces and districts. They have travelled unknown kilometres and participated in innumerable meetings. The constitutions have been revised, finalised and approved. The rule of life was written. In the footsteps of Marcel and Champagne was updated. Formation processes have been renewed and the guide rewritten. The 3-year process of the International Forum on the Lay Vocation resulted in the breath of the Rua, and the pathway forward is clear. MEMA 3 has been held. Multiple formation programs have been offered. The secretariats have been renewed, and I could go on. In fact, so much has been achieved that I wonder what's left for us to do. I express our deep gratitude to Ernesto and to Ken, to Ben, João Carlos, Joseph Maria, Oscar and Sylvain for their extraordinary commitment over the last 8 years. And of course, we cannot and will not forget dear Luis Carlos. His tragic death has indeed been a major loss and an enduring sadness. We continue to remember him with gratitude and affection. And we will continue to pray for his mother and family. It is also true that Marcelin never worked alone. He always had collaborators, his fellow seminarians with their common desire to start a society dedicated to Mary, the young men who were the first brothers, experts when constructing the hermitage, and of course benefactors. This is as true for us as it was for Marcelin. We need others. We need trusted collaborators. We need faithful companions. And we have them abundantly. Let us work with one another, our lay sisters and brothers, our colleagues in ministry, our fellow religious, and anyone who shares our ideals and hopes. It seems to me that this chapter is calling us back to the heart, to the centre of our identity and mission as brothers. This takes us back to our very origins. It asks us to rediscover that which inspired Marcelin Champagne in his own time and place, and to apply that to our own institute today. As I said last Tuesday, the task of leaders, and we are all leaders, is to guard and protect the charism, that most special gift given by St. Marcelin to us, to the church and to the world. Our first brothers received that charism and lived it passionately. It has naturally evolved over time, and it must continue to do so. And to safeguard the charism is not the same as protecting institutions or structures. It is the spirit above all that we must protect. That is our challenge today. With all those who share a love for the charism, we have the responsibility to reimagine it for this new age, this new era, as Pope Francis said. It is a huge responsibility, but it's also a wonderful opportunity. It's been pointed out during our time together that the reality of our institute today is vastly different to what it was 30, 40, 60 years ago. This is true of all religious congregations and of our church generally. But we cannot go back to the past. We cannot rebuild our institute or church by a romanticised past. We only can go forward by acknowledging the real, often painful experiences of our time. In doing this, we will open ourselves to a deeper, more authentic encounter with God and with the world we are called to serve. We must embrace our own fragility, woundedness, and limitations as the very ground from which the Spirit can work most powerfully. I want to share with you one of my favourite pieces of writing. It's not a poem, but it is poetic. It goes like this. We must be broken because there is a good so great it breaks the bounds of our littleness. We must be broken because there is a power which works in our lives to achieve a good we cannot compass and cannot discern until some later time in retrospect reveals the form of a new creation now visibly emerging. We must be broken because there is a God who works for righteousness so great that it cannot be confined to the limits of our control. We must be broken because there is, day by day, the creating of a kingdom of goodness in depth and height and scope so far beyond the reach of any human plan that it must not be constricted to our imposed directive. We must be broken because above us, above the breakdown and the ruin of plans and persons and ages and nations, there is a beating of great wings. The beating of great wings, of course, refers to the Holy Spirit, who has accompanied us these days and who is always available to accompany us, always. We must not fear change or chaos, difference or indeed brokenness. God enters through our brokenness. Chaos is the breeding ground of God's creativity. Today, religious life is itself on the margins. Religious are not understood or even respected as they once were. Truly, we can stand in solidarity with the forgotten and sometimes the ridiculed. This makes our witness even more important. So let us return to our foundational values: faith, simplicity, humility, fraternity. A word to the brothers in particular. Many years ago, the provincial at the time, Brother Kieran Gainey, gave all of us starting our Maris life as postulants a card. And on that very simple card were written some words from the 1967 General Chapter documents. I remember them well. We are called to offer the world a new way of living, simple, joyful, and fraternal. Simple, joyful, and fraternal. This is as true today as it was in 1967. It is still our gift to give. The world today, so often marked by division and polarisation, fear and anger, greed and inequality, urgently requires signs and pathways to an alternative, more humane future. More than ever, our way of life is relevant. The witness of religious brothers who live together in joy and hope and put the interests of young people before their own is powerful. This is what we must present to the world. How well we do this will depend on how passionately we embrace individual and collective conversion. Despite the complexity of our ministries, networks of schools, universities, social works, we are not a multinational corporation. We are a religious congregation. We are a Marist family of great diversity and great expansiveness. We are a global charismatic family. But at the very heart of that family is Jesus Christ, our God and Saviour. We follow his footsteps. We offer ourselves in his service. We take up his mission, the mission of God, which is to build the kingdom, not our kingdoms, not our little kingdoms, but God's kingdom. This is our ultimate purpose and aim. Now is the time for us to return to our provinces and districts and communities and deliver the good news of this chapter. You are asked to communicate it and explain it. But more than that, you are asked to live it. To be the good news to our Champagne Marists, to embody the cause. As you do this, you will draw others into the circle of hope that you create. I can assure you this is what Brother Hippolito, the councillors and I will seek to do. We thank you for the confidence you have shown in us, the privilege you have delivered to us. For our part, we will do our best to live up to your trust, and we look forward to journeying closely with you over the next 8 years. Together, let us build this new hermitage. Thank you. I now ask the Chair of the Facilitation Commission, Brother Ken MacDonald, to close the Marist Brothers 23rd General Chapter.
Thank you very much, Peter, for your great words. I think they will have an impact not only on the chapter, but on the Marists throughout the world, and hopefully on the church. Brothers, and now I speak directly to the delegates. The last work of the chapter is to close the chapter. I have been told that we need to do a vote. So I now propose to the delegates that we close the 23rd General Chapter, and I ask the delegates to show their approval of this proposition by raising their hands. Chuchi, make it unanimous. Thank you very much, brothers. Safe trip home.